the show is called Unmasking. Well, Unmasking is in the show. And when I think about comedians, I think that's probably one of the hardest jobs to me because my sense is that you're up there on stage. You have to be quite vulnerable, to be quite honest with you. And you just have to kind of lay it all out there, and you do.
Right.
And that's why I love your comedy. That's why we love your comedy. That's why we come see Mike Joy.
I appreciate that. And
Mike.
what people don't understand is the audience is my therapy.
Oh, all right.
I get to share what's really going on. Some of it is exaggerated, but they listen. So it's therapy for me to just go out there and just talk about how I feel. And they don't even know I'm using them because I have a platform to go, hey, this is what's going on in my life.
Right.
And this is happening, this is happening, this is happening.
Sure.
And I make it funny. But it's therapy for me.
And the thing is, Mike, you have a plethora of places where you can go with it.
Right.
Because you are the father of 6 girls.
No, 4 girls.
4 girls, I'm sorry.
Right. Yeah. So it's
4 girls.
It's I say this when younger comics ask me what I don't like. So the only thing I hate about being an artist is there's no human resource department. There's no place for you to go to complain. I can't say this person got it because they was white. I'm black. I don't. This person, I don't look the part.
Right.
There's no human resource.
There's no human resource.
So if you really gonna do this, then you just gotta do it, and there's nobody you can complain to. Like when you work on a job, you can go to your union boss. There's no union. There's no union party. There's no pen. There's no union dance once a year.
Certainly.
You're just out there. So my life, what I do is I absorb. Comedy comes from, I don't look for comedy. I absorb what goes on in my life. And I bring it on stage. I don't look for it.
Which is great.
A lot of people ask me, the one person that I always wanted to be, and you guys are hearing it for the first time. I've never shared this with nobody. Charlie Chaplin.
Is that right?
Yes. I'm a big, quiet fan, and it took me maybe 15 years into comedy to realize why. And because you got to remember, he made people laugh without talking.
Right.
So if you see some of my comedy, it's all about my facial expressions.
It is, yes, I have noticed that.
It's about
your
thinking.
stance on stage,
it's a
all
stance.
that.
So it's all bringing you in. It's the nonverbal things that I do that bring you in. And a big part of that is the Charlie Chaplin. And then the other part is I love George Carlin. I still watch him today before I go to sleep.
Is that right?
He was to me, the first woke white person because the stuff he was talking about in the 60s and the 70s, he was speaking truth to power. And I was just like, this dude,
exactly.
He's got to be black under his skin because he was just speaking truth to power.
Right.
So,
when I did your introduction and talking a little bit about what you've accomplished, I just saw you at the Public Theater. Did I not mention that?
Right. Oh, yeah.
Did I not mention that?
No,
the Public Theater.
Right, yeah.
That's quite an accomplishment.
That is and it's a big accomplishment.
Hamilton came out of there.
And you say that because it's hard to get comedy in the Public Theater if you're not an A-lister. They don't just do comedy shows. You can't go there So my lady, Michelle, she did her one-woman show there. So she has a great relationship. And
I see.
They came out to see the show and they was bring it to the public. So,
Right. And you mentioned writing for Chris Rock.
Right. Now,
how did that take place? How do you know Chris?
He's not my James. When people ask me about our relationship, I share with them that I'm just a coworker that he really likes. Is he my friend? No. When we go out and drink a beer, I know his friends is Adam Sandler, Whoopi. I've been around his friends. He's always liked my comedy. And he always would say to me when he see me, says, I'm gonna look out. I got you. And I'm okay, yeah. And then during the pandemic, I don't know if he know I needed somebody or not, but he called me. And when he called me on my phone, I have his number. When he called me, I said, you know what, somebody's playing. And I'm, because usually when he has handlers that do all of that, make the phone calls. So he called me. He's like, Mike, what you doing this week coming up? And I'm like, none. This is Chris. And I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. All right, Chris. Here you are. And he was like, I want to hire you to be a part of the writing team for my monologue on SNL. And I was like, okay, that's what you would, and I was just, and he says, my folks will get at you. And I hung up. And then the next day I had to look back. I said, did Chris just? So it was like, I was shocked because he has people to do all of that.
Exactly.
So to call
you personally?
Right, that made me,
That's
tear
pretty
came
cool.
out. I was telling
That's pretty cool,
my son,
man.
we made it. We're going to
agree.
Hollywood. I did all
agree
that
with you.
crazy stuff. So,
Yes.
and it was intimidating because I've never taken a writing class. I didn't have the format. And Michelle Wolf was in the room, and I felt a little intimidated. I was just like, I know her work.
Right.
And there's a lot of writers in there that was just very known. And what I realized is that they need more people like us in that room because nobody was thinking like I was thinking.
Look at that.
And I was like, no.
Thank you.
No,
for
we had this
sharing.
little, a little, well, it was an argument, disagreement, because one person was like, because only thing Martin Luther King wanted to do was get a seat on the back of the bus. And I was like, well, should I voice my opinion and lose this job? I said, no. Y'all wrong. I said, I said, I'm sorry, this is not right. You were wrong. And I was like, you know what? I felt like, just give me this paycheck and I'm gonna go home because I know I'm about to be fired. I done told Michelle Wolf, you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
So Chris was just laughing. And I was just like, okay. And I told him, I said, man, I know it's my last day. I'm good. He said, nah, that's why I have you here. I said, okay. So when he told me that, I was just speaking freely and not being scared of what they had to say. But I do realize those particular people in the room didn't know our story.
Yes.
They didn't know our story. And I made a joke that didn't make it to air, but it was like during the pandemic, I was saying, I came up with, I hope they hurry up and have these kids go back to school. I said, because you thought Brown versus the education was bad. It's going to be parents versus the Board of Ed. Chris was crying laughing. Everybody else was like, we don't kind of get it. I was like, Brown versus parents.
Yeah, exactly.
So it was a lot of that, but it was good. It was really good. And then, he took me on tour with him. And that was and I really got to see how wealthy people travel. And for me, and I said on stage, I said, you're I don't share this with my son, but lack of finance instead of saying poor, because they say you got to be careful in your words, but we lack finance for so long to whereas when you're around somebody who really have it, you're like, whoa. So Chris paid for everything. And in the hotels, he was like, the bar, what do you call it? The inside
Concierge.
No, inside your room, there's a snack thing.
Sure.
A bottle of water costs like $1,000. Right? You don't. So many years of traveling, going into hotels, I wouldn't even.
I'm not going to touch that.
I won't even look at it because I don't want them to charge me. Right. So one evening, I went to Walmart to get some water. I asked the guys, the staff, do they want some water? And they said, and Chris says, Mike, there's no water in your room. I says, yes, but I'm not doing that.
Right. But you know what?
But listen, he goes, everything is covered. He says, I said, everything?
It should be. I
had beer, Cavassier. I ran through the whole thing. I think I packed some in my bag to take with me.
Right.
But very generous. And it was another thing that I've learned about him, the man of his status. He works like he's broke.
Oh, is that right?
We had about 5 writing sessions a day, maybe 2 on Sundays. He works like he is broke.
But I do want to say that he's quite phenomenal as a comedian. And
he is.
And I want to thank you for all that you provided for him.
Yeah.
But you know what? This is not so much about Chris. This is about you too. Because the other thing is, you mentioned being in the room. Holland. Tell us about Holland.
Before we go, we'd like to take time out and say thanks to our podcast community recording here in Harlem, who worked to bring you this episode. Thanks to producers Leonard DePlunk, Paula Farmer, and Jack Hamill. Jack and Leonard on the soundboard and camera, our tech heads. Vanessa McKnight and Cheney McKnight. Stephen Williams, who is mostly in the shadows these days. David Aaron of Short Memory Records for allowing us to use of that sweet jazz number Soy Sauce. And a very special Harlem thank you to international comedian Brooklyn Mike Troy. Thanks for being with us, Brooklyn Mike. You have been listening to Hats Off with Dr. James McKnight. Be well. podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered a substitute for professional medical advice. Please consult with a healthcare professional regarding any health conditions or concerns. Help is available. Speak with someone today. Dial 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Languages are in English and Spanish. Hours are 24/7. If you need help, please speak with someone today.